2002, end of 2002, I went to Eritrea, and so I had no idea what country it was. I mean, I know Eritrea, I'm born there, but what it had turned to, because the same regime that's in Eritrea right now is the people that get us our independence. These are people that we had loved and that we saw our heroes, our people, the most loved people probably. And so I had that only in my mind, and a lot of people do that, especially those of us that left before independence. We have this feeling of the heroes forever, but since we didn't live in the country, so you don't know really what has, I mean, how they start ruling the country or anything. And I wasn't well informed, so when I get back, that's when Eritrea officially turned to dictatorship, but I didn't know, so I moved there and lived there for 2 years. So it was very shocking for me, because having grown up in a democratic country, and then you go back and you see that the same people that get you independence are worse than our colonizers. And it was very shocking for me to see people disappearing, and on every street that you go, then you would be asked for an ID card, because every year, starting the age of 17, 18, until you are 45, 50, you have to do your national service. So if you are to be in the capital city, then you have to have permission from the military camp that you came to visit your family. So then you have maximum a month. Probably that's, if you are lucky, every 2 years, so it could be 3 years. So to see that nobody is fleeing from the military camp, so there is a soldier, military police almost every corner where you would be asked for ID. And it used to remind me of the films, you know, from the Holocaust, where the Gestapos would be on every corner asking for ID to see if you are Jewish or not. So that's what I used to think all the time when I was there. And so for me, having a Swedish citizenship, it was really easy. I could just show my Swedish passport, and a person that didn't do nothing for the country, I was living like a queen. And those people that sweat and that worked hard, that have done their military service for years, were being hunted wherever they went. So that was kind of a wake-up call for me, because I was like, what's going on? This isn't what we fought for. This isn't what we sacrificed over 150,000 people for. And so it was really shocking. And I think I'm happy I stayed there long, because a lot of people in the diaspora, you know, they go back to Eritrea every summer, stay there for weeks, maximum 5 weeks, and all they see is just good things, because they would go visit their families, they will eat good food, they will go swim, they would go to clubs. So you don't see really the hardship or how the ordinary people are living. And then they will tell you, oh, back in Eritrea everything is good, because every house we went there, you know, they had a lot of food for us, whatever. But that's because you don't live there, but you go see your neighbor how they live. And so that was that kind of woke me up. And then I saw people being arrested, and everybody's afraid to ask. Whenever I would ask what happened, you know, I saw one night around 2 in the morning, our neighbor, they just came and knocked at his door and arrested him and his wife. So I was asking what happened, what did he do? And everybody was mad at me for asking. They're like, don't ask, he probably have done something. Yeah, but why can't they tell us? And they said, no, please, we don't want to be in trouble, so don't ask such kind of questions. And I kept asking and asking for about 2 months, and everybody was mad at me for asking. So nobody wanted even to justify he did this or he did that, or he's never brought to court. So after 2 months, they let go his wife, and she had no idea why she was arrested, why she was freed. But the husband, until today, nobody knows where he is. Since September 18, 2001, we don't have private media in Eritrea, so there was no freedom of press. So every journalist was arrested, and private media was banned. So according to UNHCR, 3,000 Eritreans flee every month, but according to CIA, it's 5,000 people fleeing every month, because about 2,000 they don't get registered. So UNHCR knows only about those people that seek asylum, whether it's in Ethiopia or in Sudan, because these are the two ways that that you end up when you flee from the country for the first time. So at the border, everybody knows that there is a shoot to kill policy. That 50% that if you are going to Sudan, chances are about 60% that you will make it out and about 40% that you would get shot. But if you are going towards Ethiopia, then chances are about 70% that you will get shot and about 30% of making it out. But still, knowing this, about 5,000 people leave every month. So that just tells you, you know that what chances you have, but still to take the risk. Those that end up to Sudan, even if they pass the shoot to kill policy, they know that chances are about 50% that you would get kidnapped and 50% that you will make it out. Still, these people won't make it out. And that just tells you how hard it must be in the country. That people from Sudan, I mean, in Sudan there are about 250,000 refugees, if you're Eritreans in Sudan. And Sudan, it's a very poor country, but yet they do receive, they don't say no to any refugee, and they've been giving us refugee status for 40 years, even maybe longer than that. Ethiopia, the enemy country where, I mean, for an Eritrean to go and ask asylum in Ethiopia, that's, I mean, you can just imagine. But still, there are about 120,000 Eritrean refugees that just arrived in the last 10 years, and probably about 15,000 have been resettled to a third world country. So there is 6 or 7, I think right now, refugee camps in Ethiopia for Eritreans, built for Eritreans, and